In the second stage tutorial of digitally conducting the horse show using horseforum.com, the moderator has to create competition classes, judging parameters, and vet check parameters. He has to decide the type of calculation you want. He has to decide the tie status, whether you will allow tie or not in the results. He has to decide whether you want the participants to allow online registration or not by opening it. And the last tab you see is of release class for judging. This we will discuss later, just before the start of judging ring. Let's start with competition classes. I have already created some competition classes to demonstrate to you. I have created milk teeth called Marwari, and against it you see display priority 2. Below that is two teeth filly Marwari, display priority 3. Then two teeth called Marwari, display priority 4. The role of display priority is that if you have created more than one classes, the display priority will decide which will be displayed first and then next. Here I have not put anything with priority 1 so that I explain it practically. To create a competition class, I write a name, milk, teeth, filly. Then I have to choose breed. If you are allowing all breeds to participate in one class, you can choose all breeds. Here I am choosing Marwari. Assigning display priority 1. Then I have to select whether the class is in hand or hidden. I choose in hand. Next you have to choose whether it has team participation or individual one. I choose individual. Then accept the responsibility clause and submit. The new class is created, and in the list below you see that it appears on top with display priority 1. And so you create the other classes. Next task of the moderator is to create judging parameters for every class. First you have to choose the type. Parameters could be of 3 types: breed parameters, general horse parameters, and performance parameters. The choice is yours. For demo, I choose horse conformation to add parameters. Then I have to choose the competition class for which I want the parameters to be added. I choose milk teeth colt. Next, I have to choose as for which round I want to add parameters. Maybe you complete your judging in first round itself, or maybe you promote the shortlisted horses to next round for judging on different or additional parameters. So for every round, you have to decide parameters separately. I choose round 1. Since I am creating parameters for demo purposes, I will mention a generic name to avoid any possible misconception. I am simply writing parameter 1, or better, gen parameter 1. I allot a max marks limit of 10. You decide your own max limit. Then the display priority to decide which will show on top and which on bottom if you have more than one parameters. Accept the responsibility clause and submit. Judging parameter listed. I am assigning one more parameter. For demo purpose, this time I am selecting breed confirmation. Then selecting a breed. Select competition class. Then enter the desired parameter. Here you note that you are not asked to choose the round. By default, the breed confirmation parameters are added to round 1 only. Let's enter breed parameter 1, max marks 10. You decide your own. display priority 1, accept responsibility clause and submit. One more breathe parameter. I'm not putting any parameter in performance. Now we come to wet check parameters. Here the moderator will feed the parameters on which the wet will check the horses. Here no competition class or breed has to be chosen as the wet check is universally applicable to all classes. I write wet param 1. Here no marks is assigned as it will either qualify or disqualify. So display priority 1, accept responsibility clause. Before submitting, I apprise you that on first submit, 2 parameters will be assigned. Now I am submitting. Submitted. You see 2 parameters have been assigned. One is wet param 1, which we entered, and another is final decision. That I explain after I enter a couple of parameters. Wet param 2, display priority 2, accept responsibility, submit. Wet param 3, display priority 3, accept responsibility clause, submit. We entered 3 parameters, but what you see is there are 4 parameters. 3 we entered and final decision parameter was added by default. This is because while being checked on 3 counts or 5 counts or 7 counts as you decide, the horse may conform to some and may not conform to some. So the vet will give a final decision whether the horse is allowed or not. From here, we proceed to choose calculation type. For each competition class, we have to mention it. I select milk teeth colt Marwari. You see now that there are 4 choices of calculation types to choose from. First is simple and straight total of all the marks. Average, straight and simple average of all the marks. Then sandwich total, where the top and bottom marks against a parameter are deleted and the remaining are added. In this case, the number of judges must be 3 or more, and similar is the sandwich average. I am assigning different calculation types for different classes for demo. Now is the turn of tie status. For every class, you have to choose whether you allow tie results or not. The relevance is that if you allow tie positions and for example 4 horses are tied at position 3, all will be declared holding position 3. But if you choose not to allow tie and 4 horses are tied at 3rd position, an arbitrator will enter the scene and decide who will be 1, 2, 3, 4 among these 4. Then accordingly the final result will be prepared. Here for this class I am allowing tie, accept responsibility clause and submit. The list below is updated. Next, for demo purpose, I am not allowing tie for 2-teeth filly. Now the online registration tab. Under it there is a button called open online registration. This you open if you want to allow the participants to register online before the event. The last tab is release class for judging. This will be used later, just before the start of judging, and we see that then. Further, I explain in the 3rd stage tutorial.